Eye-poking trust. What is a company retreat nowadays without a trust-boosting game? One man stands on a table with his back toward his colleagues, who are ready to catch him when he drops backward into their arms. Or one woman verbally guides a blindfolded co-worker through an open area with scattered objects that represent a minefield. Trust building breaks down barriers between individuals, instilling faith in one another, which in turn prepares them for joint enterprises. Everyone learns to help everyone else. These games are nothing, however, compared to those of capuchin monkeys in Costa Rica. In fact, humans would never be allowed to play the monkeys' games. Any lawyer would counsel against them. What these little monkeys do high up in the trees is so absurd that I couldn't believe it until I saw the videos that Susan Perry, an American primatologist, shows nervously empathetic audiences. Two typical games are hand sniffing and eyeball poking. In the first, two monkeys sit opposite each other on a branch, both inserting a finger ever deeper into the other's nostril until the finger vanishes up to the first knuckle. Swaying gently, they sit like this with expressions on their faces described as trance-like. The monkeys are normally hyperactive and sociable, but hand sniffers sit apart from the group, concentrating on each other for up to half an hour. Even more curious is the second game, in which one monkey inserts almost a whole finger between the other's eyelid and eyeball. Monkey fingers are tiny, but relative to their eyes and noses, they aren't any smaller than ours. Also, their fingers have nails, which obviously aren't particularly clean. So this behavior potentially scratches the cornea or causes infections. Now the monkeys really need to sit still. Otherwise, someone may lose an eye. These games are most painful to watch. The pair keeps its posture for minutes, while the one whose eye is being poked may stick a finger into the other's nostril. What purpose these weird games serve is unclear, but one idea is that the monkeys are testing their bonds. This explanation has also been offered with respect to human rituals, in which we make ourselves vulnerable. Tongue kissing, for example, carries the risk of disease transmission. Intimate kissing is either pleasurable or totally disgusting, depending on the partner. Engaging in it thus says a lot about how we perceive the relationship. In couples, kissing is thought to test the love, enthusiasm, even faithfulness of the partner. Perhaps capuchin monkeys, too, are trying to find out how much they really like each other, which may then help them decide who can be trusted to support them during confrontations within the group. A second explanation is that these games help the monkeys reduce stress, of which they have no shortage. Their group life is full of drama. During eye-poking or hand-sniffing, they seem to enter an unusually calm, dreamy state. Are they exploring the borderline between pain and pleasure, perhaps releasing endorphins in the process? I speak of trust games because at the very least a high level of trust is needed before you'd let anyone poke your eye. Exposing yourself to risk on the assumption that others won't take advantage is the deepest trust there is. What these monkeys seem to be telling each other, similar to humans when they drop backward into the arms of others, is that based on what they know about each other, they have faith that all will end well. This is obviously a wonderful feeling, one we mostly appreciate with friends and family. Animals develop such relationships quite readily, also between species. As pets, they do so with us, so that we can hold them upside down or stuff them under our sweater, scary moves that they won't accept from strangers. Or, conversely, We stick an arm into the mouth of a large dog, a carnivore designed to take a chunk out of it. But animals also learn to trust one another. In an old-fashioned zoo, a monkey, kept in the same enclosure as a hippopotamus, acted as dental cleaner. After the hippo had eaten its fill of cucumbers and heads of salad, the little monkey would approach and tap the hippo's mouth, which would open wide. It was obvious that they had done this before. Like a mechanic under the hood of a car, the monkey would lean in and systematically pull food remains from between the hippo's teeth, consuming whatever he pulled out. The hippo seemed to enjoy the service, because he'd keep his mouth open as long as the monkey was busy. The risk the monkey took wasn't as great as it might seem. A hippo may have a huge mouth with dangerous teeth, but it's hardly a carnivore. It's much trickier to perform such a job on an actual predator, but this too happens. Cleaner wrasses are small marine fish that feed on the ectoparasites of much larger fish. Each cleaner owns a station on a reef with a clientele, which come to spread their pectoral fins and adopt postures that offer the cleaner a chance to perform its trade. Sometimes cleaners are so busy that clients wait in line. It's a perfect mutualism. The cleaner nibbles the parasites off the client's body surface, gills, and even the inside of its mouth. The cleaner fish trusts that it will be allowed to nibble parasites and that the big fish won't cut his career short. But the big fish needs trust too, because not all cleaners do an honest job. They sometimes take a quick bite out of the client, feeding on healthy skin. This causes the large fish to jolt or swim away. According to Swiss biologist Redouane Bechari, who has followed these interactions in the Red Sea, cleaners hurry to repair damaged relationships and lure back their clients. They offer a tactile massage by moving around the big fish, tickling its belly with their dorsal fins. The other likes this so much that he becomes paralyzed. He starts drifting around motionlessly, bumping into the reef. The massage seems to restore trust, because the big fish usually stays around for further cleaning. The only fish that cleaners never cheat are the large predators. With them, they wisely adopt what Bechari calls an unconditionally cooperative strategy. How do those little fish know which clients might eat them? They are unlikely to know this from first-hand experience, which by definition is terminal. Is it because they have seen those fish eat others? Or, like Little Red Riding Hood, have they noticed what big teeth they have? We usually don't assume much knowledge in fish, but this is only because we underestimate them, as we do most animals. Trust is defined as reliance on the other's truthfulness or cooperation, or at least the expectation that the other won't dupe you. This seems a perfectly fine characterization of how cleaner fish must relate to their hosts when they enter their gills or mouth, or the basis on which capuchin monkeys decide with whom to play their eye-poking games. Trust is the lubricant that makes a society run smoothly. If we had to test everyone all the time before doing something together, we'd never achieve anything. We use past experiences to decide whom to trust, and sometimes rely on generalized experience with members of our society.